Stem changing verbs in Spanish. This video, we're going to talk about what they are and talk about a specific group, E to IE. So stem changing verbs are verbs that change in the stem, the part of the verb that goes before the AR, ER, IR. All infinitives in Spanish, and in case you don't know, an infinitive is an untouched, unconjugated verb, and in English, the equivalent is to do something. So every single verb in Spanish either ends in AR, ER, or IR. And in the stem is the part before the AR, ER, and IR. So for a lot of regular verbs, we just take off the AR and add the endings o, as, a, amos, ais, an. And then for ER verbs, it's the same thing. We take off the ER and add o, es, e, hemos, es, en. And for IR verbs, very similar endings, we take off the IR and we add o, es, e, hemos, is, en. Now, that's for regular verbs that don't stem change. So the stem change happens before the AR, ER, and IR verbs. And there are three types, just like there are three types of verbs. You have E to IE, O to UE, and E to I. And like I said, today we're going to talk about E to IE. So E to IE verbs, they change in the E that is not, if the verb ends in ER, it's not that E, it's the E before that. So let's go through three verbs that go E to IE that end in a different kind of ending, AR, ER, and IR. So the first one we're going to do for AR verbs is going to be, let me think, comenzar, to begin. And it's just like the verb empezar, to begin, comenzar. So repeat after me and notice that's going to stem change in all the forms but the nosotros and vosotros. And for the sake of understanding that, I'm going to use subject pronouns today, even though they're optional. So repite, yo comienzo. Tú comienzas. Él comienza. Nosotros comenzamos. Vosotros comenzáis. Ellos comienzan. So the stem change happens in the E and it changes to IE in all of the forms but the nosotros and vosotros. Other stem changing verbs that go E to IE that end in AR are cerrar, to close or shut, fregar, to scrub, negar, to deny, y he dicho cerrar. Oh, empezar, another way of saying to begin. Now let's take an ER verb such as perder, to lose. Okay, and now it's the same exact thing. It stem changes in all of the forms but nosotros and vosotros, but because it ends in ER, we are now conjugating it with ER endings. So vamos a empezar a conjugar perder, to lose. Repite, yo pierdo. Tú pierdes. Él pierde. Nosotros perdemos. Vosotros perdés. Ellos pierden. And other verbs that go E to IE that end in ER, some of the more common ones are defender, to defend, entender, to understand, encender, to light, like put the lights on, or to start an electronic device. Y ya he dicho perder, there you go. Those are the most common ones. Now for IR verbs, same exact thing, but IR endings. So o, es, e, imos, is, and en. So let's take a verb such as sentir, to feel. It could be sentirse. Sentir, we use plus a noun. That's the biggest difference between sentir, sentirse. So to feel. Yo siento. Repite. Yo siento. Tú sientes. Él siente. Nosotros sentimos. Vosotros sentís. Ellos sienten. And there you have it. That is how you conjugate E to IE verbs. Oh, and before I forget, other verbs that end in IR that go E to IE are preferir, and that would be the middle one, prefiero, that you would conjugate. When in doubt, that's the one that isn't before the R. If it ends in ER, these end in IR. But the one next up, right before that. ¿Qué más? Así que preferir, to prefer, convertir, to convert. Déjame pensar. Hervir, to boil, if you're talking about cooking. Ya he dicho preferir. ¿Qué más? Referir, to refer, and sugerir, to suggest. And that's how you conjugate E to IE stem changing verbs in the present. If you want any more content, whether it's vocabulary, grammar, tourism, what to watch, read in Espanol, then go to makingspanishsimple.com and subscribe today.